What is going on, everybody? I am here with ShahZam, also known as ShahZeb Khan. How are you?
What's up? I'm good. We just played our first group stage match. Went pretty well in the end there, yeah.
It was against Orbit. It was a 2-1 victory. I actually predicted that. I'll just give myself credit. Because I thought Orbit might be able to sneak them out, but overall you're the stronger team. Give us a little rundown on what happened.
I would say you're right. I feel like they did sneak a map from us. Cash was our first game. It was a bit of warm-up. We made quite a few mistakes there. Really credit to Pyth, or Pith, however you say.
Oh, yeah. I ran into him. I was trying to get an interview with him yesterday. I ran to the manager after, and I've always thought it was Pyth. I've always corrected people. It's like, no, it's pronounced Pyth. Manager was like, okay, didn't like you saying that. It's pronounced Pith. So if you want to approach him, say Pith.
All right, yeah. He took advantage of our mistakes and alone pretty much took that match from us. That first map, like, we couldn't let it stop us. So the next two maps, we just played our own game, made sure we closed it out there.
Yeah, so that cash game was pretty interesting. It went into overtime. There were great plays by each team. Eventually, in the overtime, it took Pith with an amazing clutch, 1v3, two headshots, or was it three? I don't know if the third kill was, but just insane plays. But to take it into overtime, somebody went absolutely huge with the AK, not the AWP. Run us through that play that you did to take it into overtime.
We went for like a 4 squeaky 1A main play. And they had a better economy than us, so they kind of shut us in. They mollied us and flashed us out. So half our team was already in the site, and then me and I think Shroud were stuck in squeaky door. So it's kind of like they kind of ran into me and gave me that chance, and I took it. So unfortunately, we didn't get to take advantage of going into overtime and close it out, but still, I guess, a nice round. Yeah,
I mean, you're being a bit laid back with it, but from a viewer's perspective, that clutch was really insane. It's not the type of position that I would want to be myself. You had an AK against 3 people. They all already knew where you were. You killed the first guy, and then by the third kill, you were on 14 HP. I don't know if you remember. I think it was 14, something within the 10 range. That is a tough position to be in. You planted the bomb. He knew where you were. I don't know if he made a bad decision, but then, yeah, like, really give us a little talk through that final bit of the play. What was your thought process? Because then there was that battle where you're walking around the site, and then you got the best of him.
Well, when it came down to that 1v1, I think it was against Jumpy, he actually mollied the site, so I was trying to plant the bomb without hoping the molly wouldn't hit me because I was low. I took the gamble of just sticking the plant. I could have faked it, but I think I'd expect him to wait for it, and that's what he did. So after that, I knew he'd be creeping around the corner since they probably said that I was low. And I just took the gamble to swing on him, and I caught him off guard pretty much. Yeah,
it was a sick play, amazing to watch live. I stood up and I was like, oh, yeah, come on. So now you are on Cloud9. You joined them after the ESEA season 17, was it 18? Help me.
Season 17 final.
17, yeah, I was right, just about there. And that was after you actually, on Denial, you... For search for a better word, you absolutely smashed C9. You were the main driving force behind beating them 2-0, right? Well, yes, I'm going to say you were, but I want your opinion on it, your thoughts.
No, it was a team effort, to be honest. I wouldn't say it was a smash. I mean, it was 2-0 in the best of 3, but the first map was overtime. The second map was 16-14. So it wasn't a smash in my eyes. It was team effort. But, yeah, after that weekend, I was asked to play with C9 guys, and, of course, I took the offer.
So, yeah, okay, so not smash, but, you know, when you're jumping on Mirage from the T-spawn sort of Tetris area onto the stairs, quick scoping people, it's a pretty convincing performance. I guess partly lands you position in C9.
I guess so. I mean, I'd like to say it was more than just that match that gave me the spot, but yeah.
Yeah, well, it was very exciting to watch, and obviously we got some amazing GIFs of you going woo after and stuff. I'm sure you've seen them. So what's it like being on C9, and maybe give us a little background, your overall background in CS. When did you start playing, your teams, then you got onto that sort of story, so to speak?
Well, throughout playing CS, like, I was originally a Source player, and there wasn't a large community at that at all. There wasn't a lot of money in it. And then coming out with Go, I was trying to balance university and CSGO, and luckily CSGO was like enough to help cover my tuition and such. But now that I'm with C9, I'm able to take time off school and play full-time, travel and such. So it's pretty amazing just going full-time CS.
So before you were on Denial, who were you on? Because I'm not completely familiar with your whole history. You know, because every player has to work from the very bottom, and now you're essentially at the very top of NA and CS overall. Like, how did you start? How did you get into it?
Well, when CSGO first came out, I was already playing Source professionally, although it was a really small community in America. And so from that, I joined a mixed hybrid team with some 1.6 players called Ultimax Gaming. We made ESA land, but then there was some drama surrounding the team, and I decided to take about a year off. I took a year off the game. I came back and I joined up a team with Mo, Clown, Freakazoid, and such on Frost Gaming.
Those are some NA legends, by the way, Freakazoid and Clown.
Yeah, I was really lucky to play with them. And so we went to ESA LAN. We had a pretty successful run in my eyes, like compared to how much practice we were able to get. After that, I decided to take a little break and play with some friends, just like a local LAN team. So we won 2 local LANs, and I was just playing like on my own time until the guys at Denial, which was Lunatic at the time, asked me to join at the beginning of summer, and I decided, okay, maybe I want to take CSGO a bit seriously again now that it's going huge, and that's where we came from.
Yeah, so at the top tier of the US scene, NA, because there's obviously Canadian players as well, like Shroud, etc. You know, you've got, say for instance, yourself and CLG, and lots of recent mixes of teams. What's separating, say, yourself, arguably the best NA team? I'm just saying arguably the best, and not necessarily my opinion, but definitely one of the best in my opinion. What separates kind of you guys from say the more tier 2, seen as tier 2 US teams, for instance, the players that make up teams like Elevate, etc.? Would you say there's a massive gap? But because you guys generally you're winning over them and stuff consistently, whereas they might beat you once here and there.
I feel like it's largely our attitude towards the games, because a lot of the American teams have like amazing aim to compete at this level even, and they're like they have the individual skill. But in America, like I've noticed from my first boot camp here in Europe, the teams in America play a lot more off of individual plays. They'll take a lot more gambles and risks, while in Europe the teams are much more strategical. It's a game of strategy and tactics. So I think NACS is getting at that level, especially with teams also going full-time like CLG and Liquid. So hopefully with some more practice, they will be able to compete at the same level.
Yeah, so I missed out Liquid there, but my knowledge is not perfect, everybody. So yeah, but going on from the differences in the different US sort of tiers, what about EU to US? It's something I've been asking players, especially some of the US players I've been interviewing this weekend from your team, for instance. What's the difference? Because it does seem like the EU, just looking at it impartially, they're winning more tournaments. What is it? What's the difference? So far, the answer that many people have been saying is playtime, range of competition, that sort of thing. What's your take on it?
Well, our boot camp was 8 days long, and we were playing from about like 3 to 4 p.m. until, say, midnight every day. And that was our boot camp, because at home we're playing like maybe 8 p.m. to 1 or 2 a.m. every night. So that full day of practice is their regular practice schedule here in Europe. So they're playing a lot more in terms of like scrimmages and such throughout the day, every day. And they're a lot more familiar with each other in terms of teams, and they know what to expect and such. So we don't get that same level of practice here in America. But I do think American teams like CLG and Liquid, if they got the opportunity to come out here, or even at ESA LAN when the Europeans come to us, they definitely prove they can compete.
Yeah. All right, so you told me that you recently made a decision to kind of go a bit more full-time with your Counter-Strike, and so you've taken, I don't know what you call it in the US, but you've taken a bit of time off from your education. Would you give any tips to anybody out there trying to make their way up in the world of CS, and also potentially people that are juggling education? Would you tell them, like, if they want to chase the dream like you are, what's the plan of action?
Always have a plan B. I stuck to school. I was competing in CS, and it was really hard to balance. Like, I was in my 3rd year computer science major, and I'd have to sometimes skip classes to travel events, practice late when I should be studying and such. But you shouldn't fully commit to taking off school until you're comfortable enough to, like, you're in a position where you're supported, and you have people that are there to support you as well. Like, my family was fully behind it, and that's when you should fully commit and make sure that you still have the case where you're able to fall back to school and whatever you're doing before that.
I like that. Very mature, very responsible advice, but at the same time, I guess if people do want to chase their dreams, it's possible, but they need to be responsible with their decisions.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, go for it.
Yeah. Good advice. ShahZam, any final words, if you want to shout out your sponsors or your team, etc.?
Yeah, shout out to our sponsors, G2A, Logitech Gaming, HTC, NVIDIA, and Alienware.
Nice, wicked. All right, well, hopefully you're enjoying London. You're enjoying the Gfinity experience. I'm sure we'll see you back, because there's lots of events obviously coming this year. Best of luck. I hope the US can also start, competing more over here and competing exactly, but taking on the EU the same level.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's just so you're good. You're good.
Cool. All right, everybody. We'll see you all in the next video. Thank you, ShahZam, for your time. Peace.